Have you ever been in a relationship that you just could not get out of to save your life? You told yourself the last time it was the last time, but then you double back because your person found some kind of way to suck you back in. Even if you know it's evident that the relationship is toxic and unhealthy on so many levels. You've looked over red flags and rushed into something, and now you're in a sticky situation, or what we like to call a slippery slope. You make up excuses for their toxicity. Eventually, you stop venting to your friends and family, and over time, you've isolated yourself from the world. Well, my friends, you may be suffering from an unhealthy relationship attachment called a trauma bond. Yes, there's a name for it. It's real. I suffer from it, but when I broke that trauma bond, I cracked the code to abundance. And this is the type of abundance that comes when you close certain doors so God can open other ones. Y'all, if I would have never closed that door, I wouldn't be doing this right now. So this is so special to me, guys. Happy New Year's from the Sexy Nurse Chronicles podcast. Happy New Year's. Happy New Year. Out with the old and in with the new.
You gone.
It's a new year, baby, gone into you.
Come on.
Out with the old and in with the new.
Okay.
It's a new year, baby, gone into you. Do you?
Do you?
Do you?
Do you?
Do you?
Do you?
We breaking trauma bonds, baby. Do you?
Do you?
Do you?
Do you?
Do you?
Okay.
We breaking trauma bonds.
They call me Nurse Two Keys up in this bitch, so you know I'm a represent for breaking curses, breaking chains, not tolerating toxic shit. This a new year, not taking any mess from narcissists.
Nope.
We get respect, we give respect, and we ain't taking nothing less.
And if he don't treat you right,
Fuck 'em.
if all she like to do is fight,
She like to fight.
if nothing that you do is right,
Nothing.
it's okay, baby, gonna catch flight. On them hoes. Welcome to the
Come on, y'all.
Sexy Nurse.
We out.
We out. We out.
We
out.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. Y'all, welcome to the Sexy Nurse Chronicles, episode number 14, a mental health podcast where we sip tea. Where my tea at, y'all? And talk about love, relationships, and mental health. I am your sexy ass creator and host, Nurse Motherfucking Two Keys. A psychiatric registered nurse, a mental health blogger, award-winning student of academia, and some. But y'all, that is not why I'm here. I'm a motherfucker that's done been through some shit, tired of going through some shit, and I don't want to see nobody else go through this shit. So I'm taking y'all on my healing journeys through prayer or CPR. Honey, I'm certified. But no, I'm doing this to take you on a healing journey from leaving a narcissistic relationship, from childhood to adulthood, and how to transition, because nobody really talks about how hard the transition is. It's like you kind of got to get over it, but then you don't know, because you don't know who you are, because who you was with was not who you was even with. Harriet! Makes sense? So we're going on my journey from victim to victor. And so this episode is another very passionate topic for me. We're going to talk about trauma bonding, y'all. Yes. And we also going to talk about breaking that bitch, honey. We got a whole song intro. I didn't realize until I started writing this episode and praying about it and said, well, what am I going to do next? This topic, it touched my spirit, and I didn't realize that my trauma bond has been the basis of the healing of the foundation of this podcast. So what better way to do this than break in the new year and start breaking these motherfucking trauma bonds? So y'all, if anything that I say resonates with you, please make sure that you like, for one, you like me, I like you.
Yep.
Make sure that you subscribe so we can keep in touch, and make sure you hit the notification bell so we can be stuck like Chuck.
Okay.
And that's on period. And if you're following me on any of my audio podcast platforms, please make sure you download, please, and follow. And you can also show your appreciation and support by getting your big sister a glass of Taylor Port. And that's in the Buy Me Coffee link down in the description below. The proceeds shall go to everything that money must sow. Y'all know I told y'all got a musical all day, honey. When my spirit is happy, y'all better stop playing with me. So with no further ado, let's talk about what is a trauma bond, or what is trauma bonding. So according to verywellmind.com, description in the link below, or however you say it, trauma bonding is an attachment you feel to your person, the person that you care about, the person that you love, that you done been in this crazy ass relationship with, toxic, narcissistic, you know what I'm talking about. Specifically where there is a certain cycle or a pattern of toxic abuse. Now, every relationship has its good and every relationship has its bad. But when you're dealing with a narcissistic or toxic relationship, the good is good. It's great. But the bad, when it's bad, if it's fucking horrible. Let's just be honest. Because in order to heal from this shit, we got to accept what the fuck it is. It's horrible. You feel degraded. You feel ashamed. You're mad at yourself for believing that they would change.
You ain't shit. And you never gonna amount to shit.
And it's just after it's all said and done, that shit is just downright fucking depressing. You know, and at the beginning of my healing journey, I wanted to rush through the process so I wouldn't be in my feelings. I didn't want to feel my feelings. But it wasn't until later on, it wasn't until by and by, it wasn't until hindsight that I had to understand that God had to take me through a process. I thought this was a microwave job. No, honey. This is sometimes it can be a easy bake oven job. Y'all know how so that motherfucker go. Don't let the batteries be low, baby. But we gonna eat these brownies today.
How you do?
Honey, we gonna split this little square in half in four quarters, baby. Honey, we all gonna break bread, okay? But it wasn't until I realized that God had to take me through a process. He had to take me through things to get me to some things. So sometimes you gotta go through to get to. It's a process. You have to trust the process. And that process comes with faith. It comes with prayers. It comes with hope. It comes with perseverance. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all better stop playing with me now. Come on now. Y'all better tap in. Tap in. And what I'm talking about is doing the shadow work. That's the person that you see when you're walking on a sunny day and you see a shadow on the sidewalk. Or you're in a dark room, you can turn a flashlight on, you see a silhouette of you. That's beneath the physical, okay? That's your shadow work. That means you're working on yourself. You're working on your mental health. Reading self-help books. Learn how to feel your feelings. And learning who Kiki is. What, 1 key plus 1 key? 2 keys. Okay, I'm done being silly. But like seriously, who is Kiki? Not the wife, the mom, the student, the nurse, the teacher, the sister, the friend. No, but who am I? And what does Kiki want? What do you want? Who are you? This needs to be a good journal entry for you. Who are you? And what do you want? And in the meantime, I still had to. It's deep. Y'all think self-healing, it's self-love. No, baby, they all kind of different entities. But when you do this type of work, process your childhood trauma like I did. And having the strength to cut people off.
Cut that bitch off!
Who were probably the closest to you. The ones you probably grew up with, like long-term friends, family. Having to cut them off for your sanity because they are toxic or they don't add value to what you got going on. They don't motivate you. They always bring you down or always have something smart to say or always have. No, You ain't got to deal with that shit. It's called motherfucking boundaries.
Cut that bitch off.
And sit on them. It's hard because when you love people, you never think you have to cut some people out. And I'm talking about your husband of 50 years. I'm talking about your mama. I'm talking about your father. I'm talking about your sister. It might be your child.
Say what?
Whoever it is. If you're on the straight and narrow and a motherfucker keep on doing the interference thing, red flag on the motherfucking play. It's time to set up boundaries because at the end of the day, when your ass is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs at the psych hospital, ain't nobody gonna be in there helping you with your treatment. Ain't nobody gonna be here through your nervous breakdown. Baby, all you got is you. So you have to protect the energy that you have. Okay, y'all, we got to break these trauma bonds. That's how important it is. It's either you or them. I know, like one of those Western movies. You know, they take the gun and spin it. You know, it can feel like that to your heart. You know, but that don't mean you have to stop loving that person or loving those persons. You don't have to stop loving your mom. You don't have to stop loving your dad. You don't have to stop loving your sister. You don't have to stop loving your granny. You don't have to stop loving them. You just, now you know how the relationship is and how they add to or take from, you know what position to put them in because you ain't got a lot of motherfucking energy for a lot of shit. Not if you're working, not if you're taking care of your business, not if you're in school, you know, not if you're running businesses, not if you have all that shit going on, still got kids, got this, got that. Honey, who got time? This is a mental health podcast. Let's talk mental, baby. Let's sweep this shit from under the rug. Because the more you put shit, you sweep shit under the rug, eventually you're going to trip over it. So now you're tripping. Now they looking at you crazy. Because you know what? Swept that shit under the rug. Fuck that shit, y'all. It's time to do some spring motherfucking cleaning, y'all. So the thing about a trauma bond is it's not actually the trauma that causes the trauma. It's not the abuse that causes the trauma bond. It's the continuous cycles of being in love, and then you turn around and get into an argument, and then that argument is horrible and it's bad, but then they come back and they love bomb you, and then they make you feel safe again.
But what the hell, boy?
So that's what I think is so confusing about trauma bonding and trying to recognize it. Because the good is mixed with the bad and the bad is mixed with the good, and it's confusing, it's overwhelming because you genuinely have positive love and feelings for this person who repeatedly still seems some kind of way to hurt you. And you may have kids with them. You may have built a life with them. You may have sacrificed your life for them, you know, but at the end of the day, a part of self-love and the whole definition, the whole meaning of this podcast is to start to embrace and incorporate that. So this is what makes trauma bonding so confusing and so overwhelming. And it kind of puts me in the thought of when I was doing my research, they brought up Stockholm Syndrome.
Say what?
Stockholm Syndrome is like this mental, psychological thing where a hostage, somebody who has been held hostage, develops a mental connection, like a friendship or an alliance or loving feelings for someone who's kidnapped them.
What kind of shit is that?
Wherever there's a white van, there's an old man. Bitch, don't go to it. Don't take no candy. No magic tricks. Stranger danger. But the victims, they form an emotional bond with their captors. And they start to feel sorry for them. And so even when like the police come and like try to break the door and say, you're safe, they might not even escape. Or if they had the chance to escape. Because the other bitch that was hard-headed, that actually had enough sense to keep on fighting,
think something? You think something?
This person with Stockholm Syndrome, she'll be the victim that'll actually stay with him. And if he's facing consequences for a crime, she gonna try to help him get out of it. She might even help him get more bitches.
How nasty of you!
But it's like this really weird attachment to somebody, but it's because of survival mode. And not all people who go through abusive situations experience trauma bonding, and not all people who are held hostage experience Stockholm Syndrome. It's tricky. And trauma bonding is too. Like I said, it's insidious. You don't see it coming until the damage has already been done. And this could go on for months, years, even decades later. Sound like you? If it does, make sure you drop a comment and tell me how it relates to you, because we're going to build a network right here. And I appreciate the Lord said if 2 or 3 touch and agree, he will be here. Y'all stop playing with me. Stop playing with it. So you better tap in. Tap in. So let's talk about some signs that you make. As I told you, it's confusing. Knowing that you're in a trauma bond, or what the trauma bond and what it looks like, it's confusing. So, sign number 1 that you may be a victim of trauma bonding is you cover up or you make excuses for your abuser's behavior. He didn't hit me, girl. I just walked into the punches.
But what the hell, boy?
No, bitch. He hit you in your motherfucking eye hole and it's closed. A bag of peas ain't gonna do you no deed today, baby.
I'ma kill his ass!
Or you make it, well, he was just stressed. That's what he said. He was just stressed. Johnny, he's been working a lot of hours. He smacked the shit out of your ass, and you almost flipped across the counter. He's just stressed. No, bitch, that was a stressful ass motherfucking smack. Ain't too many more of them motherfuckers gonna be coming around here for honey. Johnny has a rainy day. Sign number 2. You lie to your friends or your family about the abuse. When they ask you, are you okay? You say you're all right. Your family asks you okay? You say you're all right. But deep down inside, you're suffering. Sign number 3, you don't feel comfortable with, or you don't feel like you're able to leave this abusive relationship.
Bitch, where the fuck you at?
Like, he might put his hands on you. He might stalk you. He might try to take away the kids. Most of these signs or patterns of what we're talking about, trauma bonding, it's usually in the hands of a narcissist. It is. So you like, what's her name, and enough, J-Lo and enough, you putting on wigs, you going across the country, just trying to protect your kids and your sanity, and you are one of them type of crazy motherfuckers. So if that is a sign, if that is true, baby, make your motherfucking exit plan.
Cut that bitch off!
I love you way too much. God loves you way too much. And he never, ever wants you to go through anything like that. Sign number 5. The abuse follows a cycle. First is great, then it's bad. Then it's great, then it's bad. First is good, then it's not. Then it's like,
I'ma kill his...
It's never something that's been worked through, something that's progressed, something that, we have problems when we work through them. No. It's that you still arguing about the same shit from 3 years ago.
I mean, you won't think something? You won't think something?
Number 6, your abuser. Your person apologizes and promises to change, but they never do. They promise to change. They look you in your eyes. You believe them. And they may change for a little while, but real change is permanent.
Yep.
That you didn't say, I'm sorry, I ain't gonna do it no more until 3 months from now, okay, if I known that then, okay, about the second month, I would have been like, okay, on your ass.
Cut that bitch off.
Bitch, give a motherfucker a fair warning. They promise to change. And they apologize about it, but they never do.
You ain't shit. And you never gonna amount to shit.
And you just want to believe their words so bad because they've done come through before. They know how to make you feel better. They like your kryptonite. But they don't. And that's actually the definition of manipulation. Somebody who's apologizing and promising to change and they don't, and still expect to keep you around. Manipulation. With my arm, with my thick glasses, with my hand on my chest. Huh? It is, and it's sad. It's so sad, y'all. That's why we bringing awareness to this shit. We can laugh about it, we can cry about it, whatever the fuck we gonna do, but we're gonna get through it.
Okay.
Sign number 7. Your abuser controls you with gaslighting. So it's not manipulation, it's gaslighting. I know we talked about that 1,000 times. They control you by making you feel like your reality ain't yours.
She got me on the counter.
It wasn't me.
Saw me banging on the sofa.
You ain't shit. And you never gonna amount to shit.
That ain't true. I ain't hit you. You walked into the punches. Well, bitches, why you punching the air? Why you fighting atoms? Why you fighting protons, electrons, and neutrons, motherfucker?
It wasn't me.
No. Let's be real. No man, no woman, nobody, no man, no girl. I don't give a nobody should put their hands on you ever. And there are men out there who actually do not put their hands on women.
Say what?
Leave that no good nigga behind, honey. It's a new motherfucking year.
Cut that bitch off. Harriet!
And then there's sign number 8. You become isolated from your friends and your family. You remember what I said in the beginning? I asked you in the beginning. If you used to vent to your friends about your problems, you used to vent to your family. But then after time, you kept on going back and they don't like him like that because all the shit you done told them about him. But at the same time, you need that ear. You need that support. The fact of the matter is, whoever you tell, whatever you've been through, do you deserve it or do you deserve better?
Huh?
I think you deserve motherfucking better. If we got a debate between or we got to do reality testing between your family and you, what's the reality of it? This person's no good for you, baby. We shouldn't even be talking about this right now. But we are. Fuck him. Fuck her.
Cut that bitch off.
Period. So you become isolated from everybody because you don't want to look stupid. You gonna go back to him, girl. You sitting here talking about you gonna leave. You gonna go right back. And everybody's tired is different. But at the end of the day, you don't want to go through all that judgment. So you just start to keep the shit to yourself. And eventually, he wants you to be to him anyways. You just at the house with the kids. Can't vent to the kids. Honey, all they want is cereal.
Okay.
Sign number 9, your abuser does not want to break this toxic trauma bond. So if you do try to break up with them, they're going to try to get your family and your friends on their side. They're going to slander your name. They're going to tell y'all break up before you even tell them. You know, I feel like there should be a thing like, I tell my family, you tell your, now you tell your family. No, he telling everybody. But the thing is, I was prepared for it. And I didn't tell my family that I was being done. I was separated. I was moving on. I was breaking this trauma bond because I didn't want anybody to try to convince me to come back. Because at the end of the day, nobody was behind closed doors. Nobody's behind closed doors to go through what you go through. So don't let no motherfucker tell you how and when and where and what time you should go. If you feel in your heart it's time to go, baby, it's time to motherfucking go.
Cut that bitch off.
And that's on period. Number 10, after all they've done to you, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially, psychologically, and you still find some kind of way in your sweet little empathic heart
Okay.
to try to believe that this nigga gonna start to act right when you know after all this time he's not. So like by this time you done been through all this, you're at an addiction phase because you know what? You know why? Bitch, you finna be like Brian McKnight ho. Y'all all finna start back in one with the love bombing and then all that extra shit. So let's talk about the phases of trauma bonding because you know what? Y'all finna learn today. Y'all finna motherfucking learn today, y'all. We are breaking motherfucking trauma bonds. But real quick, if you are feeling this content, please make sure that you drop a comment and like, share, subscribe, and follow me on TikTok, y'all. Y'all know I'm an 80s baby. I don't know shit about this technology, but I'm finna get this motherfucker popping, honey.
Yep.
So now let's tap into the 7 stages, the phases of trauma bonding that keeps us addicted to this bullshit.
Cut that bitch off.
So after the fight, the big blow up, phase number 1 is love bombing. Your person will use flattery and display intense emotions or affection towards you just to gain your trust, just to wrap you back in. This is when I'm so sorry, you know that, baby, you about to walk out, baby, my motherfucking ass. They use that, I'm so sorry. Here, I love you so much. Here's a bouquet of roses every fucking day. Here's that trip that you've been wanting to go on. Now he done booked the flight, this, and that. Bitching about it at first. Now he's ready. Now this are the red bottoms and the Louis bags or the, giving you that good D. Or she putting that on you, bruh. She said, I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean to blow up on you like that in front of everybody. I mean, you won't think something like that. You don't think something like Here, she gonna suck your and she gonna wash the dishes and she gonna cook for you. She gonna make tacos for you every night. You know what I'm saying? Whatever she can do. Act the fool. Just love bomb you. Okay, then stage number 2, which is trust and dependency. They love bomb you to gain your trust and dependency. And they work real hard to gain your trust, your loyalty. And so they start to show their signs of dependence. I can't make it without you. I'll do anything. I guess they might change their number this time. They done probably got caught fucking with somebody now. I changed my number to show you. I'm deleting my Facebook to show you. Or I'm changing the relationship status to show you.
It wasn't me.
I'm doing all this to show you that I need you. Then stage number 3. Criticism. Slowly but surely, the motherfuckers started getting their feelings, getting their body again and their true person self. And they start to criticize you. They'll belittle you. You ain't nothing without me. If you leave me, ain't nobody gonna love you like that. All they gonna want is your I've heard that. Or they blame you. You the reason why I act like this. I wouldn't have to act like this if you stop X, Y, and Z. And at the same time, you're trying to seek validation like, yeah, I treated you like this because you hit me, or you cheated on me, or you stole money from me, or you disrespected me. But honey, they ain't trying to hear none of that. Everything is your fault. Does this sound like you? Make sure you like this content. Drop a comment, let me know. I'm going through the same thing, sis, but we're going to break this trauma bond. That's on period. Stage number 4, gaslighting. You start to doubt yourself like, well, I guess I was nagging. And I guess he did blow up on me because maybe I need to stop. Let me up. Since he's apologizing so much and showing all this flattery, maybe he does love me. Maybe he is apologizing. I know he's been through a lot. Maybe it's my fault. Even when you know it's not your fault because you don't see yourself doing what the fuck they do to you when you get mad. You ain't out here just acting the fool. And if you are, baby, honey, let's come to the realization, let's be real, it's toxic. You know what I'm saying? Some people haven't been loved correctly in childhood. So they show love in a toxic way, because toxic relationships and environments have been all they've been exposed to. And if that is so, then we got to do some self-work. You got me?
Okay.
All right, moving along. Sign number 5 is resignation. So by this time, you're talking to a brick wall. They're not trying to hear you. They're not trying to compromise. They're blaming you. Okay? So you just, even though you uncertain, you just start to go with the fuck they say. You know, you're just trying to feel better. Because the thing is, you want your person to go back to what they was doing in stage 1, the love bombing. You know, everything that comes with that. And also with resignation phase, it's also called this fawn response. You might develop a fawn response where you start to be overly affectionate. Or you, oh yeah, or you get sarcastic. Okay, you know, you're so great. You know, you're right. I'm wrong. Okay, you know, you're so awesome. I'm not. I'm a piece of shit. Okay, whatever. You know, let's just can we bring it down? You win. I'm sorry. A sorry that they don't even motherfucking deserve.
You ain't shit. And you never gonna amount to shit.
They never deserved you in the first place. And then that leaves us to phase number 6. Loss of self. You start to develop this lack of confidence, and you may feel mentally drained from fighting and decide not to fight back. Then you become numb. Would they be talking to you? You ain't even there. It's kind of like disassociation. You kind of disassociate yourself. It's kind of like you're so numb that you're looking at yourself from the outside, looking in, like an outer body experience. You're just there. You know, and it just gets worse and worse as the relationship goes on, and over time, you just lose who you are, lose your definite. Who are you? What do you like? What makes you happy? You lose all that because you're always trying to make them happy, trying to kiss their ass. You know what I'm saying? You lose yourself. Number 7 is called addiction. So your body produces something called cortisol. And it's like when you get stressed, that cortisol, it gets up, your fight or flight, you're nervous, that feeling of anxiety, or you want to fight somebody, or you want to run from some kind of danger. And you kind of are in danger. It's like you're mentally in danger. I mean, you're soulfully in danger, but it causes stress. But then there's an increase of dopamine. And dopamine is the chemical in your brain that's the reward system. It's like when you bite a piece of that chicken and it tastes so good, you're like, I want to do it again. Or when a person that does heroin, they hit that, they feel that, they get that rush of dopamine every time they get a hit. And they're like, I want another one. It's the same addiction, but you're addicted to the pain. You're addicted to the highs and the lows. And you become physically dependent on this person.
I told you.
So while I was meditating on trauma bonding, a song came on by Kirk Franklin. It's called Wanna Be Happy. So y'all, real quick, I'm going to go through these lyrics with y'all because this reminds me of trauma bonding so much. And do you want to be happy enough to break it, to get out of it? So it starts out, the truth can hurt you or the truth can change you. What would truth do to you? So now that you know the truth, are you going to keep on letting it hurt you? Or are you going to use that truth to change, to be happy? I just want to be happy. But if I keep on doing the things that keep on bringing me pain, there's no one else I can blame. If I'm not happy, wasted time, but now I can see the biggest enemy is me. So I'm not happy. Nobody's responsible for our happiness but us. And so now you're the enemy. At first they were the enemy. Now you're the enemy. You're hurting yourself. Cry yourself to sleep from depression. Shout and raise your hands from trying to seek validation. But baby, it won't change a thing until you understand. Come on, truth. If you're tired of being the same, if you're tired of things not changing, it's time for you to get out the way. It's okay to ask for help. Open your mouth. You have not because you ask not. Don't get stuck in how you feel because you can. Just say, Jesus, take the wheel. I need help because he knows the road that you need to take. We always think that we have our life planned out. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. When Lord was really saying you go first, you're going to do A, B, and C. He knows the path. We try to make our own path. We fall on our ass, and now we asking God, Lord, it's me again. Don't judge me, y'all. Don't judge me. I'm speaking my truth now. Let me finish. It's so easy to complain, addicted to the pain, the trauma bond. Just complaining.
How can you won't think something like that? You won't think something like that?
They ain't hearing you. You giving your heart for them to push it away. And you know that because it's been years of it.
And you know this, man.
But I got good news for you. Jesus knows how you feel. When we hurt, he hurts. When we cry, he cry. He catch our tears too. Y'all better stop playing with him. Don't be playing with him. You better tap in. Tap in. Amen. So let him take the wheel. The love you need, he already gave. He gave that love when he got up there on the cross. Remember he went up there with them two other people and they was up there hanging. Yeah. Yeah. The Lord did that for us. But do you want to be happy? If you're tired, then say, I just want to be happy. Some people don't even say, they just complain so much instead of saying, I want to be happy. Let's not talk about what you lack, but what you have. Because situations are so fluid. Life changes every day. You're not stuck. Right now where you are is not where you're going to be. 3 months from now, you're going to be probably laughing at this shit. Learning from it. Glowing up. Period. I'm tired of going through circles. If you're tired of going through circles, back and forth, let me hear you say, yeah. If you're tired of making the same mistakes, let me hear you say, yeah, I'm tired of making the same mistakes. What did Steve Harvey say? Sometimes you got to do what you've never done to get what you never had. Y'all know I quote that shit all the time. For real. Like I said, it's so easy to complain. Addicted to the pain. You give your heart, they push it away. But I know somebody that will never leave you. Jesus knows it's how you feel, so let him take the wheel. Because the love you need, he already gave. So y'all look, I'm going to put that in the description below, but I thought I'd talk about that because there are a lot of people out here that are struggling. Just reach out. Ask for help. You have not because you ask not, baby.
Okay.
And because this podcast is for healing, I'm going to help you because I know you're going to forget to pray. After you listen to this, half of it's probably going in one ear and out the other one. You're listening because you're my friend. But right now, we want this healing to start now. We're breaking this bond now. The fact that you've listened this long means you need it done now. So I want everybody first getting consent. If you don't like prayers and you don't like God or whoever, you can skip this part. But for those who need it, here it is. Y'all, bow your head. If you're driving, do not. I told you in the beginning, don't do no crazy stuff. Lord, thank you. Lord, if we don't ask you for anything else, we just want to say thank you. Thank you for getting us to this point, God. Thank you for meeting us where we're at, Lord. Lord, thank you for allowing us to have the strength to tap into ourselves, Lord. Lord, we know that when we're working, you're resting, Lord. And we know when we rest, you working, Lord. Lord, right now, we need you to take the wheel. And you said if 2 or 3 touch and agree in my name, I will be there. Well, Lord, this entire podcast episode, everybody listening under the sound of my voice, Lord, we're all touching and agreeing with you, Lord, that we need you. Lord, what we gonna do without you? You know we ain't nothing. I usually cuss in my prayers, but I ain't gonna cuss in this one because I know y'all gonna blow that up. Lord, we need you. Lord, and anything that we've done in the past and right now, Lord, we're asking for forgiveness, the known and the unknown, Lord. Lord, we're praying for the strength to put one foot in front of the other, because we know that once we take one step, you carry us all the way. And some people just need help taking that first step. Lord, so I thank you right now, Lord, for the bonds that are about to be broken. Because, Lord, we just want to be happy. Your happiness. Sometimes we're fearful. The fear of the unknown. But, Lord, you said in your word that you did not give us a spirit of fear. You gave us a spirit of power to push through this, love to get through this, and a sound mind to make it all the way through, Lord. So we are asking for that. We are praying that you just hold us and cover us while we make these transitions. And when we see you on the other side, Lord, when you say, job well done, Lord, when we finally find that peace that passes all understanding, we'll do nothing short to give you the honor, glory, and the praise. So everybody's asking and agreeing right now, Lord, touch everybody at their homes, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially, even sexually. Lord, protect us. And we thank you in advance. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. So we are about to touch up on some ways to break these trauma bonds, y'all. One way is to learn to grieve. Learn how to feel your feelings, because you are breaking a bond that is hard to break because you apparently love this person. You've put time, effort, energy, money, kids, relationships, families, you put this time, you've invested your life with this person. So it's kind of like they done died, but they're alive. You have to understand that this is it. We're breaking it.
Cut that bitch off.
And you're going to cry. Cry. Don't let that shit ball up. Go through the process. It's a process, y'all. And I think that's the hardest process of of my healing journey, was to grieve. But, I did. And then grieving at my pain turned into a passion, this podcast. Then you want to avoid self-blame. Avoid blaming yourself, because you're still here in the back of your mind while you're driving or something, or you're at the gas station, or you're shopping, and you'll just hear them say some shit in your brain.
You ain't shit. And you never gonna amount to shit.
It's like that constant trauma, those memories, they flash back a lot at first, but then they slow down once you address them. And you say, it was not my fault, I'm free. After all that, look at me right now. I'm free. You got to practice self-care, honey. Because just because y'all ain't dating no more, or you breaking this trauma bond, you might let yourself go. That don't mean you can't look good. Because if you look good on the outside, you're going to feel good on the inside.
How you doing?
So ladies, if you ain't got your nails done, they halfway broken off, need a fill-in, feet rusty, crusty, get you a patty. Body tense, get a massage, guys. Get your beard done. Get your hair cut. You get a pedicure. Treat yourself to a meal you like. Date yourself. Dating yourself is so much fun. Once I tapped into this bonding, breaking this bond. Self-care. Not what everybody else wants. I be like, what do I want to do today? Like, whatever I want to do. I'm thinking like, what do you want to do? Then you have to establish a support group, because you're gonna need people to talk to get you up out your head, and you're gonna need to talk about it, because once you start saying it out loud, it starts to sound crazy as hell.
But what the hell, boy?
What you put up with, because you then another one gotta cut off all contact, y'all.
Cut that bitch off.
That cut off all contact is hard. Because once you make contact again, you got to start all the way over. You got to cut out. And I'm talking about when you done been at the club, the last song come on, you've been drinking and can't think of nobody else but them.
Penis.
And you call or text, and now they sucked you back in. Sound like you? And then you're back to square one. So you got to cut off all contact. I mean, you got to have a game plan just in case. You got to have like your friend come take your phone type shit. Because bitch, if I call him or she call me, it's on. And they going to try to Start that love bombing bullshit, and now he done sucked you back in, bitch. Okay? We gonna stop playing with it. We gonna stop playing with it. But some other ways we're gonna begin to, because I'm bad at it. But if you haven't started yet, start writing your emotions. Journaling, y'all. I thought that shit was corny as hell. I thought it was corny as hell. But when I tell you, writing about your emotions, it gives you time to get all this shit out your brain onto paper. And then you can start to process it. And this is another thing. Dr. Ramani, she always talks about, she's a narcissist expert. She talks about writing down your ick list, the icky things that person done to you. So every time, I'm talking about everything. I'm talking about every moment. Cheated on me with Becky. She fucked my best friend. He keyed my car because I wouldn't come outside. She bleached all my clothes. I don't know. But like, write down all that shit. Everything. Don't burn it. Look at it. So when you want to go back to him, you start to look at all this shit and you be like,
That bitch off.
no, fuck you. Where's my rose? Where's my hose?
Harriet!
Because when you wake up, if you do it, you're going to feel like shit. And if you wake up and you didn't, you start to be like, dang, I'm glad.
Yep.
Because, y'all don't want them problems. And write about what you noticed that triggered your reaction. And so when you start to learn your triggers and shit, man, and then you can look a year later and be like, oh, wow, I was all in my feelings about dude. That's so funny. Like, he ain't shit. Like, girl, why would you even fucked with him? Mm-hmm. And one other thing, you got to give yourself time. When you cut off all contact, you got to use that time to start to look at things from the outside looking in. More time that you have away from this person, more time you get to make things make sense. More time, because when you're dealing with these type of relationships, you never have time to heal from one cycle to the next. You need time to heal. And this takes time. And it's a process, but you can make it a fun process. You can do something, get yourself together, you can get on out, or you can sit like a hermit. You can find a hobby. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. You can do it, y'all.
I told you.
These are ways to start the healing process. Y'all done already prayed, so it's already done. But no, one of my last things is learn how to be in the present. Okay? You remember we talked about when you're in the past, you're usually depressed. When you're in the future, thinking about shit a week, 3 days ahead, 2 years ahead, you're usually anxious from the fear of the unknown. But when you're in the present, right now you chilling. You got everything you need right now. You got ways to sit right now, just be here. Y'all, I want to stay here with y'all the whole time, honey. I do, but I can't. And I love y'all. So if you liked anything that I said, if anything resonated with you, you better be subscribed or download it because, honey, you got to tap in, y'all. And make sure you visit my website at thesexynurse.chronicles.com. Or you could just look in all of the links below and find my online store. Be my friend on Instagram, nurse, and URSE, the number 2, KEYS. You can put that in Facebook. You can put it in Instagram. Y'all be my friends, okay? But until then, guys, I love y'all. We gonna rock the fuck out this year. In Jesus' name, peace out.